All right, we're back with the 1999 Honda Civic Si. This is actually one of my favorite cars. Growing up, I always wanted one. My buddy, he picked one up, and this is the one that I did the timing belt on, and we put a new distributor on, as you can see. And so we got it running. It's knocking, so we're gonna replace the motor. And I was saying how I'm gonna show some more content. So that's what we're gonna do. So first thing you should start off doing is removing your battery, and then as well removing your fluids. I got the oil drain in right now. So once you got that oil drain in there, the 17 mil drain plug, there's gonna be some bolts right here for the skid plate. There's 10 mil bolts all along here, and then as well there's gonna be two clips right here, and then it should come off. This should come right out of the way here. So I'm gonna get that done, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so we're back under the car. We got the oil draining. Next, you're gonna turn around, and you're gonna see that the coolant, the way you can drain it is by pulling this plug right here, this white plug. Pull that plug, spin it, get some pliers on it. Be gentle, but yeah, you're gonna have to get that off, and then that's where you'll be able to drain the coolant out. That's why I have a pan ready here. Already got the oil drained out, and then the next thing I'm probably gonna do is pull the axles out. Okay, so I got the oil drain plug back in, and I pulled this plug right here, the white plug, so the coolant's draining. So instead of jumping right to the axles, what we'll do is, since we're draining the coolant, we'll pull the rod out. You're going to take out this 10 mil bolt right here, and then you're as well going to have a fan connection. The rod out, you're just going to slide this off right here. It slides off this bracket. If I can get it to slide off. Just like that. There's your fan connection, that's why I can see it. So we'll do that. Take that 10 mil bolt off, and then undo this connection. If you just press on it from this side here, you press on that tab right there, right here, you press on that and make a clicking sound, and then you'll be able to pull it out. You might have to hold on to it while you're pulling it out, but that's how you pull that off. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so after you got your oil drained, go ahead and drain your coolant. Like I said, I pulled that plug from underneath. Coolant's draining. You're gonna pull your rod hoses from your top one and your bottom one. Your electrical connector is gonna be right here. You're gonna press on that tab right there. It's gonna make a clicking sound. I'll give you some light. Let there be light. It'll be a clicking sound, and you'll be able to pull this tab up like so, like that. It's off now. So do your rod hoses. Take this 10 mil bolt off here, and then you should be able to pull your rod out after you do your rod hoses. Okay, so I figured I'd make a video on this just because, you know, if someone doesn't know, it's first time working on vehicles. Just use an 8 mil or a flathead to loosen that. And then these clamps back here, you just gotta get yourself a set of vice grips. And then you get in here. See if I change it to wide. There's a clip right here that you pull, that my pliers are on, right here. You pull that, move it back. And then what you can do, I got my electrical connector off, and then you're gonna need the other rod hose, the top rod hose. I'll show you the bottom rod hose. And then you're gonna get in there, and there's a clip right here. You're gonna squeeze just like that with the pliers. Move it all the way back. And then either you can reach in there and try and twist it off, or what you can do is take your pliers, make them wider. Take your pliers, make them wider, and then put it around the hose. It's getting in the way, of course. So put it around the hose, and then you just gotta kind of wiggle it back and forth. Put it kind of right there. Give her a good wiggle back and forth, and then she'll let go. And then pull your rad hose off with your hand. Okay, throw that plug back in the rod. Once you got this hose off, you just pull it out here. Once you have the clamp off, you'll be able to just pull this straight out. Like so, as you can see. We're gonna pull the distributor off. Okay, so for the distributor, you're gonna need a 12mm wrench. There's gonna be 3 bolts. There's one here, there's one at the bottom here, and then there's gonna be one just on the other side, right there. So I'm gonna pull those off, pull your wires out. This engine goes cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4 like your normal motor. Honda goes backwards. Right, so I'm gonna pull the distributor off, pull these 3 bolts. That'll be off and out of the way. One point I was gonna make is you want to mark your distributor. That's if you were gonna reuse this motor, which we're not, so you don't have to mark it. But if you were gonna reuse your motor, you were pulling it apart, you'd want to make a white mark and do it right there, so that way, from right there, you put it back exactly where it was. Because this distributor is adjustable, you can move it back and forth. Okay, once you got your distributor off there, now what I do is I move along to this side. I'm gonna get this out, and then also don't forget to pull your gas cap off and relieve the fuel pressure. I'll be doing that probably next here. And then we're gonna pull this out. It's kind of a fight to get it out a little bit. I actually found it easier to get it out the bottom than trying to get it out the top. You kind of got to move the AC lines a bit, bend them a little bit to get it out. Because if you want to reuse your AC, that is, or else you can just take it off. But we'll do probably the fuel pressure. We'll crack that bolt, make sure the gas cap's off. Fuel's going to come out a little bit, so just don't panic. Put a rag over it, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take the power steering pump off, and the alternator belt, and then the AC belt. I'll show you kind of how to do that. Once we get all the accessories out of the way, then I'll show you where we'll go from there. Okay, so to get this out, you're gonna have your 2 bolts here. There's gonna be 4 bolts on the back of the rad fan right here. So right there, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think this one right here, and then we got that one there. And then there's also going to be one actually, sorry, at the bottom. There's going to be 2 at the bottom, one going up here and one going up here. This one broke, so. But there's going to be 3 electrical connections, one for your AC, one for your fan, and then whatever this one is here. So you got the 3 connectors. You're going to have to swivel it past. It's kind of hard to do, but you got to get it past this bracket. And then the easiest way I found to get it out was to push it down. But again, yeah, you got your 4 bolts, your 2 bolts here, and then 2 bolts at the bottom, your 3 electrical connectors, and you'll be able to pull that out. So the next step is going to be pulling the AC, or sorry, we're not going to do the AC right now. We'll do the power steering pump. We'll get that out of the way. And as you can see, I already did my fuel. So yeah, we'll start with getting the power steering pump off and the accessories, and we'll go from there. To get the power steering pump off, there's going to be a bolt on this side right here, a bolt there, and then as well there's going to be, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a bolt down here. So I believe these are 12 or 13 millimeter. Pull those off and out, and then it'll take the tension off the belt. Pull these 2 10 mils right here for your power steering line. Once you pull the bolts out here, you'll be able to get the power steering belt off. Okay, take your 2 12 millimeter bolts out of there, and then you'll be able to, the tension will come off the power steering pump. You'll be able to get your power steering belt out, as you can see. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to pull out the 4 10 mil or 12 mil bolts, I believe they are, down in the AC compressor. And you're going to want to loosen that because that's the tension pulley for the alternator. So loosen that bolt right there. and then pull the bolts out for the AC compressor. And what I do is I leave a jack stand underneath to let the AC compressor rest on. So adding on, after you get this pulley right here, there's a 14 mil bolt in front nut. Take that off, and then that'll take the tension off the AC compressor. Then you pull your 4 bolts. You should be able to take your belt off now. Take it off the pulley like so. And then we're gonna pull out our the 4 bolts for the AC compressor. I believe they're, if I remember correctly, either 10s or 12s. I don't remember exactly, but we'll let you know. Okay, so what I do is either you can release the tension all the way on this, I believe, or you can just take the nut and washer and pulley off. Remember how it goes on. Take your 2 12 mil bolts off. This bracket will come off, and I'm going to pull these 12 mil bolts right here. Once I have these off, then I'm probably going to go ahead and start doing some of the electrical, pulling some of the electrical clips out. If you want to see how clips come off and stuff, if you got a clip that's like this, you just push up on that tab and pull out, and it will, if you have a screwdriver or something, sometimes you can use a nail. In this case, this one's actually pulled down, so you just pull down the tab and then you'll be able to pull it off of your tab. And if you're pulling electrical connections off, just be careful. This guy here, this one right here, that plug just pulls right out. Pull that off. Pull this coolant heater hose and pull your electrical connections. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that, and then I'll let you know where I'm at. Okay, so we kind of got some stuff extra done, I guess. We got the exhaust bolts all off. They're 12 mil. There's I think there are 2 13 mil or 14 mil bolts at the bottom that's going to hold the exhaust. You can just, as you can see, this pulls, you can pull it right off. And then you're going to have your harness come with the vehicle with this one. This actually goes into this harness here that travels into here, into this hole right here, through the vehicle, plugs into, I think it's a, I don't know, ABS or if it's a computer. I think, no, it's not the computer. But these wires plug into something up in the kick panel on the, and then so basically what I did was I unbolted the slave cylinder from here, and then there's going to be 2 bolts that hold it in as well. Sorry, I don't have a light here. There's going to be 2 bolts that hold it in as well. If you look right here, there's 2 bolts that hold it for the bracket for the slave cylinder right there. Disconnect your fuel from your fuel rail there, and I always bleed the fuel through here first to relieve the fuel pressure. That's why that's disconnected. And then you're gonna have your sensors. If you're putting a new motor in, you're definitely gonna have to unplug all these and whatnot. Starter is gonna be 2 14 millimeter bolts. What else can I tell you guys? Just some electrical in the intake manifold. This is another heater hose at the back, and then of course you got your heater hose that comes around to the front here. So kind of just tuck everything out of the way. This harness is going to be coming with the engine. There is the O2 sensor connection at the bottom of the engine that you'll have to disconnect as well. And let's see what else we got going on here. I can tell you about yeah, so basically that's basically the point that I'm at right now. I'll be able to pull the exhaust, and there's a lovely clip underneath there. It's kind of hard to see. I'd have to climb underneath here, but I guess I will. Okay, so you're underneath the vehicle. You're also gonna have to undo shift linkage, so I got the shift linkage to do. And then drive axles will be coming out as well, so I'll be doing that tomorrow. I'm actually gonna be taking off from the shop here. I just wanted to get a good start on it today. So I still gotta do the drive axles, and there's There's a clip underneath there I still gotta get, so it's gonna be mindful of that. So once I have the exhaust manifold off and dropped with the 2 bolts in the bottom, then I should be able to pull this thing relatively soon. But I will definitely keep you in the loop. Get in there though. Okay, so update video for the Honda Civic Si. Just went and picked up this motor here. Thinking it's going to be a good one. It's got a timing belt on it with no cracks. It shows signs that it's got a lot of carbon buildup in it, but it seems like it'll be a good candidate. So this is the one we're going to be transplanting this new used engine into this thing. I'm going to be yanking this thing out right out the top. And then I'll be pulling the tranny off, and then basically taking that tranny and throwing it back onto this side right here. And then, yeah, I will update as I go.